Whether now you cast, I've been at Senegal cast. The most important thing is that if you don't win your next game, in fact, if you don't win your next 2 games against Sudan and Congo, you go cast, and your casting means you're coming back home. Welcome to Sports Cruise Live on Milan 98.3 FM. It's the Friday edition, the last edition of the show for the week. Hey, it's been a super charged week. Yesterday in the studio was fire, and even the day before yesterday as well, back to back. I will serve you the juices of stories across all sports, from Formula 1 to basketball to tennis to football to swimming. Every single story you need to hear. And because today is Friday, we're going to spend quite some good time on transfer stories today. The rumors, the completed transfer stories. So because this weekend is the Community Shield, the curtain raiser for the 2025-2026 English Premier League season, and it's going to be against the league champion Liverpool and the surprise FA Cup winners, Crystal Palace. Well, Crystal Palace are in a kind of a mess right now because we're still waiting for the outcome of the appeal against their demotion to the UEFA Conference League. That decision will be given today. Before I came to the office, I was monitoring the update on it, and they said that by maybe 6 p.m. Nigerian time or thereabout, the final verdict to be out if they would go back to the Europa League or maintain the Conference League. But whatever way it is, the beneficiary, if they stay in the Conference League, is going to be Nottingham Forest for another Nigerian 3-bedroom apartment in the capital. This show alone, so because it's a Friday, we're always getting, so you're driving home, you're caught in traffic, you're trying to find your way out of Lagos. Maybe some they call me the host with the most, but if you're gracious enough, you call me the Sultan of MC. I reported for duty today. They've been buying a lot of players up front. There are concerns of injuries and a few other stuff. Is Liverpool ready to defend their Premier League title ahead of the season that begins this weekend? So we'll talk about all of that on the show today. Stick around.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise. From Niger Football Madness to Global Sport Cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set, go!
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger. No boring breakdowns, just pure energy, passion, and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Durant.
She dey twist my dress. Can you sweep yourself? Turn me up, and I'm in the grace for your body. So. Tell me what I've done to you. All I did is got to love for you. Tell me am I the one for sing the song for you? You made me go Never told you that I never had those feelings. All this time I told you. She got that. She got. Give her. She won't put it on the table. Give me some label. Give her. Every time she available.
To be one decor at some point. I think he's one of Nigeria's finest vocalists. Super performers, and this one is one of his ever finest. So I like it though. I think after this one, the next one I like is Cʀᴜɪsᴜ. That song has a banter energy around me, especially when I'm doing banter on Chelsea. Welcome back, guys, and of course, like I said, Agbatomi is live with Nunes to Saudi Arabia, and there's also the departure of Luis Diaz to Bayern at just about 2 weeks ago. So there seems to be some there about about. So there's a whole lot to talk about this leadership, this Liverpool squad. But before we come to Liverpool, let's talk about one other, good news for born international football star Francis Cʀᴜɪsᴇ, and gifted her 15 million naira and a fully furnished 3-bedroom apartment it has ever produced in recent times. It's been reported that Odega was among the Nigerian team that won the 2025 Women African Cup of Nations in Morocco, and also made the promise. The Boko born in your street after Francis Cʀᴜɪsᴇ. The governor gifted 10 million to the coach who nurtured Odega in Benue to become an international in the competition and encouraged talented young girls to emulate our resilience. Today we are singing the nation's common song of victory with one of us, with the one whom God has chosen and elected to represent us, the one who has been the great ambassador of the state in sport in the last 5 victories of the Women African Cup of Nations to the field and played the game of football. Here is a great shining example for one to follow. Allow them, guide them, and also get them coached. Tomorrow we shall all go to the national and come back to the state to celebrate them. I want all of us to encourage our young ladies to go into sports. In our remark, Francis Cʀᴜɪsᴇ expressed gratitude to support from the state and Nigeria and called for stakeholders to collaborate in sport development and infrastructures. Odega also urged the states to support grassroots sport development to enhance the next generation of champions for the country. Let's support sport that they actually need. And also Mr. Innocent Idibia, aka Two-Face, the technical advisor to the governor on International Talent on Show, featuring a 50 million naira star prize.
Folks might understand you by and by. Move on up the scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best.
Thank you very much and welcome back at 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday to Friday in the Situation Room. No, sorry. On Sports Cruise Live on Mainland 98.3 FM. I have Dotty in the house. I also have Agbatomi in the house. But from the federal government, yes, from private sponsors, from well-meaning Nigerians, from anybody that had given them anything, from Imo State governor that hosted his own people. So Ayedato also gave his own person 30 million and the media 50 million each.
But we are here to see what
some of his Lagos girls have even gone back, but they will bring them back. You know how Lagos does his own thing now. But let's come to Benue. Agbatomi. The NPFL season before the last one, it has spent more time in the top 3 on the table than Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars at some point were 5 points ahead of Remo Stars on the league table. That was season before. Lobby Stars is a club based in Makurdi,
Benue State, solely
financed by the state government. They don't have a pitch. They play their own games away from home. I think they were using Otumba Dikpo Dinar Stadium in Lagos. They don't come for opening ceremony. The initial story we heard was that they were stopped. If you did not do all of this,
or they just did an election last week.
When did they do National Sport Festival? 2025.
That was May now.
Alia became governor in 2023.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Okay.
He became governor. They have stadium. The Abia not to accredit it for last season. They've been using almost 8 months to lay the turf of that stadium in Makurdi. At some point, Lobby Stars played their home game at the Lafayette Township CAF Confederations Cup. Now they'll be playing NNL next season because they got relegated at the end of last.
He came
in as well. 2 months. They sacked him.
He was sacked.
There was a time they did not even have a manager until for like 4 games.
It was an interim manager that also came in at that point.
So the team was in an absolute chaos and mess. Furnished 3-bedroom apartments in Makurdi. Odega will not even stay. Talking about the fact that the same thing also happened to Lucky Aiyedatiwa in Ondo State. Both ends there. Some of the footballers that were being paid as low as 220,000 in that person. Do you understand? The governor woke up and gave and choose 60 million like that. Gave 30 million to the lady, gave 50 million to the media officer and the secretary of the. But there are limits to some of these things. Benue State is facing a lot of things. Infrastructural decay. Early this year, I was traveling to Anambra State by road and we passed from Otukpo. There's Otukpa. Bro, the portals on that axis.
It was still the same Benue State
Even the killings
that had flooding. Okay, see, in as much as we begin to talk about what these rewards have brought, the controversies they've brought. To be honest, the Super Falcons of Nigeria deserve to be celebrated.
I decided to give someone 50 million
of this money.
I will say it's still too small.
In as much as they deserve to be celebrated, but the truth still remains. We can't keep doing things this way. Benue State, the governor of Benue State decided to hand over the sum of 50 million naira for an individual, not even for the team, for an individual. Was not show that you are giving one single individual the sum of 50 million naira. Okay, imagine what that sum of 50 million naira would have done to thousands and millions of people living in Benue State.
Odega don't already collect $100,000.
Probably, I feel that Odega might actually use it to do charity.
What charity? She's not going to use the 50 million. Okay, back at the National Sport Festival, we waited for Benue State athletes to arrive. We kept on checking for updates to see Benue State athletes arrive, and they did not arrive even to the end of the tournament. Okay, put that aside. Lobby Stars as well, just like you said, salaries owed. At the point as well last season, they had 4 different managers, being in charge of Lobby Stars for the first time as well in over 30 years. Lobby Stars as well got relegated from the NPFL, and they will be playing as well from. They will be playing. Take a look at what the governor has done as well when it comes to supporting the sportsmen and sportswomen as well in the country. Just like we mentioned as well, the National Sports Festival, it was the same thing. These things need to an individual, not even the team.
So let me tell you something that happened at the last Gateway Games. So the flag bearer for Team Benue arrived early before the game started.
Yes.
But because only you cannot be Team Benue, so they did not acknowledge the flag bearer for Benue. The flag bearer had to go and join Team Zamfara.
Yeah.
So that the match pass can roll while they wait for the other athletes to come. Don't get it twisted, everyone listening.
But for me, what I actually feel is that these governors, probably they don't actually rate the MPFL. That's just the way I see it. Because fine, he did well. He appreciated the Super Falcons star, which is Odega. It's a good one for him. But you doing that and neglecting your state.
That is insensitive.
You doing that and neglecting. You have issues. You have problems with roads. You have problem with flooding. Then you decide to just reward someone 50 million. Whereas you neglected
and this is not coming from his own pocket.
You neglected it. It's
not from his own pocket.
To the sole administrator in Rivers State, or even the Kano State government, or Akwa Ibom State governor, because these people have the resources to do whatever they want to do with that. But 50 million naira from Benue to someone that is not winning AFCON for the first time. She's won AFCON 4 times already. This is the 5th one. I think Governor Ali, I'm not sure he got it right.
Was it not the same Benue that was flooded a couple of months ago that the president of Nigeria visited and his covered were submerged in water? Okay, school students could not attend school. Pupils were made to learn on the road to welcome President Tinubu, and you are now deciding to give a player, Super Falcons player, some 50 million naira.
Oh, okay. But you can't tell me that some people didn't advise this man because fine, he's a governor.
I used to have a friend that is that was a senior specialist talking. So something came up and I asked him, I said, you people don't even advise Oga is to talk to his principal. That is senior special advisor. What is the advising the president, the governor to do?
So then why is
even a former president in this country has said that appointed to advise to advise me. My own is to take the advice, analyze this reward system, so that it doesn't just become a jamboree. Oh, okay, let's gazette it. Maybe.
But you know that if these governors don't appreciate the ladies, a lot of Nigerians will begin to.
There's no lot of the federal government,
the issues.
The federal government has done the umbrella appreciation.
Yes, it carries everybody.
$100,000
to each.
The Nigerian Governors Forum,
10 million.
The senior members of the Super Eagles,
24 million.
There's already a $300,000 from the winning money that the team will share.
The official breeding sponsors of the Super Eagles.
Also giving all of them money.
200 million.
So is enough. Some governors will put their state in problem because they want to do PR.
A network provider has also handed money 150 million
to the team. Do you understand? Let's leave it at that. Congratulations to Francisca Ordega, but more than anything else, I also think it's time she says goodbye. She's
already
been in the
getting
team.
No, she's not getting old. She's old.
Even assistants also. There was some rumors that she has retired, but
Francisca Ordega is not getting old.
Odega was not normal Odega this last AFCON.
Yeah, no, but she was. I mean, she was putting on makeup. She was looking good as usual.
Just in a shadow of herself that day.
Yeah.
We all know Francisca Odega. She Queen of
Francisca
Africa.
Odega,
Solid, lucky.
Yeah.
She's lucky. A lot of people that were part of those are golden generation just won AFCON. They did not win. They did not have money to back it up.
Yes.
So she's lucky. Even the ones that won the last one, they only got presidential handshake.
Exactly.
So these ones, she's lucky that all her effort of five editions, she has been rewarded.
Yeah.
She has collected at least each of those players now. None of them can be less than 230 million naira rich.
Yeah.
So it's okay, Auntie.
Even
Francisca,
without that money, we all know these players are rich.
we love you.
We
Thank
appreciate you for what you've done.
for your years, men Nigerian League.
But we all know that
Let's
decision was
leave
made
the
by
Super
herself.
See,
We're advising her.
Dotun, I've always been in that position, and I think they want to
When they
walk
want to
away,
do that.
not when we think they should walk away. Do you understand?
And I think she has got to that point in her career.
But as concerned Nigerians that we are, we want to see the queue.
Excuse us.
Let's have a testimonial. The governor did not even know she's from Benue until they won AFCON.
Until they won the AFCON.
That's how it is.
That's true.
Now all of a sudden she's the greatest sports person
from
ever
Benue
from
State.
Benue.
These rewards are getting too much. $100,000.
I just feel the governor will have his reasons that we might.
What reason? What reason does the governor have? What reason would he give? Order.
I rest my case. Let's take some boxing story. Well, Jake Paul is absolutely the front runner to fight Anthony Joshua next, according to Anthony Joshua's promoter ഃ. The promoter says it's a bizarre Paul and he's a merry man, and they think they can beat the heavyweight AJ. Jake Paul is absolutely the front surgery in May, but he's targeting a return to the ring later in 2025. Since then, YouTuber turned professional boxer Paul Jake had beaten veterans Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at heavyweight Joshua next. I'm here in New York for a meeting about the fight. There's an open dialogue between myself and Nakisa, that's Jake Paul's manager, and of course Most Valuable Promotions, that's the promotion company that wants to push the fight. I can't sit here and tell you this is a 50-50 matchup. The whole thing is bizarre, and I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul to get into the ring with Anthony Joshua. The World Boxing are saying, please, AJ, go beat Anthony Joshua, and the most bizarre thing out of this everything is that Jake Paul's J's punch resistance is gone. That this is a great time to fight him. But I'm telling David Blaine, you know when he's in the box and you're wondering whether he's going to come out in time or not, he always does. I think commercially, it's difficult these days. Maybe boxing is going back to the glory days of being an entertaining, and all of a sudden just use their stardom to switch sports. And you're wondering, Jake Paul is a successful YouTuber. At some point, he was one of the most followed people on YouTube. And out of nowhere, he's fighting heavyweight, he's fighting cruiserweight, he's fighting this fight against Anthony Joshua.
Well, for me, I'm actually looking forward to it, and I know it's going to be a good one. But first of all, I wish Anthony Joshua a quick recovery first, because even before the fight, he has to recover better, because he lost his last match. He knows what Anthony Joshua can do, and he knows the titles he has won. So I'm looking forward to the fight, and it's going to be a good one. Well, I wish Anthony Joshua all the best.
For me, I want to see an entertaining clash, to be honest, because both of them are entertainers already. I don't consider Anthony Joshua to be a boxer anymore. I just think he's just gone down the drain, being beaten by and don't forget his last bout as well was also against a certain Joshua Dubois, exactly. That took him to the gutters. I mean, he was battered by Dan Dubois in that particular one.
But should we say age is not on his side?
See, it's not even about age. And this also boils down to the conversation of when you should know when you should leave at the right time. People should know that you seek your last bout again against a young Dan Dubois, was taunted to write home about, and then you are still on the boxing space. You are still in the in the heavyweight category, and you are now even through your promoter, that's Eddie, you're now even looking for a return to the boxing ring. What exactly are you looking for to the boxing ring for? And that's why I said I'm in for, and in the boxing ring, I see him as a pure as a pure entertainer, because take a look at what
boxing is entertainment now.
No, see, boxing is a sport. It is primarily a sport. Okay,
what are sports?
They're meant to provide entertainment for people. But then there's that wrestling is pure vibes and inshallah. Wrestling is on your
these stories. There's a new star that is emerging in women's tennis, and then now jumped from 85th to number 24th in the world after clinching her first WTA tour title with a 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 triumph over four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka. Canadian tennis sensation Victoria Mboko completed a dream run by winning the National Bank Open title in Montreal, battling a wrist injury and coming from a set down to beat former world number 1 Naomi Osaka 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 in the final. 18-year-old Mboko, who started the year outside of the top 300, and now jumps from 85th to 24th in the world, claimed her first WTA tour title and joined Fʀᴏᴜ 1969 and Bianca Andreescu in 2019 as the only Canadians to win the points in a pivotal fourth game. And when Naomi Osaka fired a shot into the net on the match point, the teenager dropped to her knees in celebration before running over to hug her family and coaches in the court box. A brief story about her. Born in W25 tournament in Saskatchewan in 2022, which she successfully defended a 5th in March in second place most ITF World Tennis Tour women number 24 when the ranking are updated on Monday following a victory in Monty 8 Wimbledon finalist Nathaniel Tauziat. A rancorous packed house in Montreal greeted Mboko's success with huge cheers. The crowd was so rowdy throughout the match. In fact, that the umpire asked the fans to please be quiet during the point. And when I had that winning moment, I've never thought of something like this would have come so sudden, and it promises that it just proves that your dreams are closer than they actually are. Pulling wrist that was hard to move after falling hard in the third set of a semi-final win over Elena Rybakina. Mboko woke up on Thursday morning and rushed to the hospital for X-ray and an MRI, but ultimately received the green light to play. Today was such an eventful day, according to her, and we often think that days like this moved to. At the start of 2023, she was ranked at 516th. She was the 516th ranked female tennis player in the world. By 2024, she moved to 417. She's going to be the number 24th ranked player in the world. So it looks like it's a new star. The last of her age to have won this tournament was Serena Williams many years ago. So this is the twist, and this is what I want to come out after Mboko. So it took us back to when Coco Gauff. When Coco Gauff defeated Sabalenka at the last. We've not played US Open this year.
It was
Coco Gauff.
It was at the Wimbledon.
The Wimbledon is.
That's Melbourne now. Australia is Melbourne. Okay. The first one was at Australia. The first Grand Slam is Australia. Okay. The second one
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, Melbourne, Australia. Okay. The second one is where what's it called? Where Coco Gauff defeated Sabalenka. Exactly. That's Wimbledon.
And that was a lot of backlash to that. Now when she had to do another press, interview with the WTA press, and she had to try to. And when Mboko gave her speech, she acknowledged Naomi Osaka right standing beside her. So they interviewed her after, when she had gotten relaxed, and she said she got caught up in the moment that she forgot to congratulate. Now Naomi Osaka was saying that the person that was standing beside you, because the loser of the final would have to speak before the winner.
Yeah. Yes.
So she forgot to acknowledge this.
That you should be able to acknowledge the efforts of your opponent or the effort of your partner if it's a team sport or whatever. But see, the truth still remains. You can't tell someone who has just left who has just lost a final to now start waxing the caliber our opponent. For her to say that
you won the final. You won the first set.
You didn't know to start talking about that.
You won the first set.
She won the first set.
Then she came back 6-4, 6-1.
Exactly. That was more or less like losing her focus.
At least she's even more experienced.
Maybe making making the scene about
Maybe later you can actually do that.
Okay, guys.
Yes,
so
you
let's
can do that.
But for me, I just feel that eras.
go on, Dotun. Go on.
For me,
Dotun.
I just feel that eras do come and go. We all know Naomi Osaka as someone that usually.
It's not even a grand slam. It's a WTA 1000 event. And the poor girl just won her first major tournament. And you decide to take the shine off her.
Have you forgotten that Naomi Osaka's last WTA 1000 title was the Australian Open back in 2021? She was also going into win.
She won last, not Wimbledon.
Okay.
Roland Garros.
Okay.
That was when she won last.
Okay.
Where the current world number one also defeated world number two. So it was world number one versus world number two. World number one versus world number two. Just saying, I acknowledge Coco Golf. I was saying that it was because I had a bad game. So the same thing, and Naomi Osaka. There's no way. See, Agbatami, play the devil's advocate.
I'm not playing devil's advocate.
I'm coming. Play the devil's advocate for all I care.
Okay.
We just finished a final, and for every reason in this life, for every sportsman reason in this life, you have to acknowledge the person that just beat you.
Okay, let me ask you one question.
So, is this the first time? Is this a systemic thing against black players, or is just a way not to accept that you've been beaten? The same thing Zabaleka was saying, the same thing now that Naomi Osaka also. How can you say you forgot to acknowledge?
You will actually be tensed and will be emotional.
Just play the devil's advocate.
Let me remind you of something. Back in 2018, that was 7 years ago, when a fresh and young Naomi Osaka won the US Open against all odds. So did anybody say anything about that? So why is it now that Naomi Osaka, right, after or maybe forgetting to congratulate or to maybe the last time Naomi Osaka won the WTA 1000 was back at the Australian Open 2021, and she also was going for this one too. So I don't think it's even a case of racism or cause. Just like you said, she now has a career high single spacing of 24. Don't forget as well that she's Canadian.
My own is just that. Whatever
even in football, it's actually
that is the line I'm driving.
Their football thing. It's the same thing.
No, that's a different thing.
It's the same thing.
When the winners eventually go up to collect, and the conversation is very straight.
Okay.
Naomi Osaka had won 4 Grand Slams. This is the highest victory Mboko had ever won in her life.
Yes.
So she's in a position to even encourage her to get better because you are way ahead of her.
Okay, we forget
former world number one.
Okay, we forget that. He forget that as a French Open final, a men's singles final between Carlos Alcaraz and what's his name now, and Yannick Sinner, where Carlos Alcaraz had to come back from behind and eventually won that game. At the end of it all, what happened at the end of it all? Yannick Sinner didn't even talk about that. He only spoke about how he could have won the game, about how he was leading the game, and he didn't even eulogize Carlos.
Made from Lasso. Don't even cook that agenda on this show.
See, it's not even an agenda.
Let's talk to Osebo. Hello, good evening, Osebo.
I can't even identify Batomi's voice. Your voice are being like.
I mean, you don't offer my mic.
Because you already saying that we need to give this agenda for me. Okay, why are you creating an agenda now? Why are you creating an agenda? Where is it written in the handbook that you must acknowledge your opponent?
That's what they call it sportsmanship.
That thing Karaga said about playing for Africa, playing in Africa and being, it is true, is that it makes it put you at a disadvantage.
Who is Karaga?
George Weah is the only exception.
Who is Karaga? You know, the league he never won. He's telling people how to be a good defender, and I don't think Karaga is among the top 1,000 defenders in this. Sell an intended couple when you are single.
Well, it doesn't mean that what you said is wrong. But what I just try to bring up is that I don't think there's any fault in what either of those players did. There's no law, there's no rule that says you have to acknowledge immediately after competitions or tournaments when they are still trying to recover from such a grueling match. Most times you don't even have your faculties put together. Next time they have a press conference, they actually do better.
It's Community Shield weekend, and is the start of a new season. Arguably the biggest football league in the world.
The best in the world.
The best can be relative, my friend.
Who won the FIFA Club World Cup?
An English team.
It's an English team.
So that settles the debate.
It doesn't until Rodri, the last English-based player to win the Ballon d'Or was Cristiano Ronaldo when he was at Manchester United. And within that period, all of the year, at the end of every season, you see almost 6 to 7 Spanish-based players. So that is there. But in terms of again, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome.
And that's one thing I want to say. But this one, your voice is just shouting. You're not shouting. Because they made a mistake. I'm talking of Louis.
Now you know making call.
No, let's be sincere. Even Newcastle are actually finding it.
This Benue State governor. There's nothing wrong in IDP camp. People are dying, no insecurity.
Bless you guys. Let's go straight up into this one. The Community Shield is this week against the best team in the land, which is Liverpool versus the surprise team in probably last season's FA Cup run, actually. Yeah. But again, if you look at the run of Crystal Palace, it's almost rewarding for them to have won the FA Cup because they had some good games at the knockout stages. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Loser of the final have to wait until the winner picks up its medal. You have to give an interview after you win. You're supposed to at least say something nice about the person that just defeated. This our state governors. I saw a picture where they showed people that supported you, one person, people that congratulated you, 1 million people, and to run that money. That's what I feel. Because it makes no sense. You are not thinking of your grassroots football that will produce more talent for you, but you're celebrating one individual and giving him 60 million. Oh, it is not with us, so have a great day, my brother.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about this Community Shield. Before people finish us, they will not allow us to talk about this. Guys, it's a big one. For Liverpool, it seems that they've seen transfer window. Exactly. So there's a possibility that the Alæ Isak,
because even themselves,
they're struggling to sign players. Almost every single player they've been linked to, from Bram Bueno to Sesko to even what is going now, Cunha. All of them were being linked to Newcastle, and they've not been able to sign any player.
That didn't make Europe. He's the one signing Cunha, the one signing Bram, the one signing Sesko.
See, so Newcastle maybe next week Friday would have a review of all of the England, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and Italy. Those top 5. Maybe now we start thinking of Turkey as well. Yeah. We have Paul Onuachu, we have Wilfred Ndidi, we have Victor Osimhen. It looks like Turkish league is now a new heaven for Nigerian players. We'll talk about all of that as well. But guys, what are we expecting this weekend? Let me start from you, Agbatomi.
Well, first of all, we're talking about the underdogs. I'm talking about Crystal Palace.
Underdogs, it's a one-off.
They are the underdogs. They do not forgot that he was the coach of the Champions League that won the UEFA Europa League back in a long while. Taking them as well back to Europe. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a discussion whether they'll be participating in the UEFA Europa League or maybe the UEFA Europa Conference League, which are about to score a late goal before they could win the last game of the season as well. That was last season at Anfield. He punched so hot Liverpool days. Mateta up there. There's Sᴘᴏʀᴛs who has this. I believe it's going to be maybe not a one-sided affair, but I think this game is going to be decided by maybe a goal or two, and hopefully, we cannot only predict that Liverpool definitely win.
Okay, probably it's my head in a penalty kick.
But it's going to be a loss.
It'll be a boogie game.
Liverpool this season.
Yeah.
If they welcome.
I mean, you have won this thing for saying something about winning it, maybe you forgot. Have you seen someone that lost final? Those players that lost final. I don't see reason why you just appreciate the person. That's number one. See, I was one all the things. Nobody will say anything about it. See, when you started hearing the news of how much those guys carried out after all their stuff, they
will mention the money they used to host the Super Falcons.
For me, I'll go with Crystal Palace.
Oh wow!
At the end of full 90 minutes and even extra time, I will go for Crystal Palace. What they can do to the top 5 teams.
They had a good run. They were picking points away from home last season.
Palace has played 32 times, in which Palace has won 7. Liverpool has won 21, and they have both drawn 4 times. But on paper,
that starts.
Look at it critically. Crystal Palace might bring an upset.
See, I like when I predict and then I jinx. So I think Liverpool would win, but I hope and they've done a decent
on paper on field in PS2
in dream. Crystal Palace it's likely to have a very good to start the season with a.
It's a good one actually, especially if,
at least the momentum will keep on going.
Especially for Crystal
me,
Palace.
if you are thinking Liverpool is going to
on Sunday.
For me, even though they are playing, even though it's likely they might play in the conference,
the conference is not even enough for them.
It's enough for them.
That's the first time we played.
It's been a while they played.
They never played Europe. Are they better than Chelsea that played conference last year?
Before we go
talking about Chelsea, there's a friendly match, Chelsea by Leverkusen.
Alongside Chalobah, and then at left back we have Marco Corella as well starting, and in midfield we have Caicedo as well as new boy as Santos as well, and up front we have Esteval Williams who has just joined donning the number 41 jersey. Cole Palmer has also started, one of the leading front runners for the Ballon d'Or. We also have George as well. That's what's his name? Bukayo Saka. He's starting to go is Mark Flecken, who they've just recently bought from Brentford. We also have in Kaipic, that's the German midfielder. We also have Garcia and Nathan Tera in midfield, and up front we have Maza Patricic as well as Adli.
Thank you very much, Dotsu and Agbatomi, for coming through as usual. We've come to the end of the show. Echoes of Wisdom is a crooked at the corner, and there's the beautiful Lady Mo standing by to take over from here. My name is Okpayemi Akinde. Stay safe, enjoy your weekend.